Oh, boy. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. It's Friday night. TGIF. JCLive show once again.
What's going on, everybody?
We have this sick one with us
Yeah,
tonight.
I'm sorry.
So she's...
I sound like Kermit the Frog tonight. I know it's very exciting.
That's just the way it's going to be.
Huh.
So, anyways, guys, I promised you that we're going to have a special guest on tonight, and we are.
This is so fun.
This is fun. So, yeah, let me go ahead and switch over. We'll say hello. And there we go. He's here.
Who that is?
Who it is.
I don't know.
Anybody
Shannon.
out there? Put it in the chat. Who is that?
I already gave it away. How's it going? How's it going?
Oh, I could have had fun with like 20 questions. It would only take a
Leave
two
it
before
up
they
to
figured
him.
it out.
You know,
I have
leave it
to
up
throw
to
it out
Joe.
there. I'm
I
sorry.
That's all right.
I'm sorry. I'm excited. It's great to have you. Oh my God. It's like we've been, kind of talking, like you said, like a one-way type of talk for quite some time.
Yes.
So it's awesome to have you on. This is just cool stuff. Absolutely.
Pleasure to be
great.
here. Pleasure to be here. And Phil's camping? No, it's Shannon, not Mo.
I love it. I love it.
Look at what's going on the back TV. Look at that. Look at that. That's awesome. So, listen, guys, there is a lot of crazy ass crap to unpack tonight. There's just been, you guys know, I've done a video, I think, every day for the last 5 days, and something has something to do with Starlink. Normally, I'm not that deep, usually I'll jump in with some Linux stuff or some just regular tech or whatever. It's just been Starlink, because there's just been so much going on. So, anyways, Shannon, tell everybody who you are.
There's an echo. Gal Girl said there's an echo.
There's an echo. There is, really? Okay. Let me see.
Gal Girl, is it coming from me and Joe, or is it from Shannon?
Shannon, do you have a headphone? Do you have headphones you can stick into the...
William says audio sucks.
Oh.
Not in my pocket, Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, yes, right here. Yeah.
Galagirl said,
So-
I'm sure it's echo and scratch. Kevin said, yeah, there's some feedback in the audio.
There's some feedback in the audio. All right.
Why don't you cut my audio and see if it's coming from me?
Okay, cut the audio and then let us know. All right, guys, in the chat, let us know if you still have the feedback or no.
So you're low. Audio
I'm
volume
low.
is low.
I'm low. All right. We will boost us up then.
Still feedback, Galagirl said.
Not me.
Okay, so hold on one second. Let me go ahead and hit. All right,
Still here.
so now we just turned off. I just turned off Shannon's mic just now. So let me know if you still hear feedback. Let me know now. Yes or no. Feedback or no feedback.
Guests perfect. Feedback gone. That's a lot better.
Okay,
Gone.
so all right, so it seems like Shannon, it seems like even though you shut your mic off, I can still hear you in my headphones, so it's still going through. But that's okay. No, you don't need to now. It's fine. Yeah, so we figured it out. So the best thing, so you don't have a pair of headphones, so that's okay. Do you? So you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. I'm just going to go over a little bit of I'm just going to go over like what's been going on for this week. Grab the beats, and then we'll have you put those in. So this way we don't get the echo. Because if you listen to us through the laptop, then there's going to be that echo coming through.
All right.
Exit stage left. Or is it your right? No, left.
My left.
Okay. All right, guys. So, yes, we are, like I was saying, for some reason, and matter of fact, I'm actually looking at our audio, and our audio is lower than normal.
Yeah.
I do see that.
Also, we're using mics and headphones.
Headphones, and for some reason, OBS just doesn't like it. It doesn't like it, so our audio is low. I'm going to see if I can do something about
Peter
that and bring in
Gosling
both.
just gifted five memberships.
Peter,
Yay,
thank you
Peter.
so much for that, Peter.
Please shout out to Peter if you got a membership on a Friday, happy Friday TGIF night. And thank you everybody for being here with us, hanging out with our special guest, Shannon, who has gifted to the channel so many memberships to so many of you guys. So
Yeah.
this should be cool
Kinda
if we can
crazy.
just get this audio situation
Yeah,
going.
so I'm going to try this.
Bob Williams said feedback is back.
Okay. Yeah, that's I'm going to shut his mic off, and now you should not hear any feedback right now at all. So feedback should drop, and our mics should be louder now. They should be louder. Let me know if they're louder. Test 1 2. Maybe louder. They should be louder at least. Yeah, I'm seeing it starting to peg, so we're probably even too loud. Let's see. All right, that's good. I think we're, guys. How's it sound? Pretty good. Can you hear us?
Now
pretty
your
decent?
audio is louder.
All right.
Volume got louder.
Good. Well, that's good to know. Okay.
Better, no feedback. Peter wants to know if we can get rid of the Streamlabs poll.
Yes, that is. That is something that we need to do. I'll be doing that too tonight. For some reason, I don't know why.
Can I do it here?
No.
Oh no.
I have to do it. Yeah,
Okay.
you can't do it from there. Let's see.
Peter said, "Yeah, I can hear fine now.
Can you? Okay.
Crystal clear."
Good.
5-5.
Good. I'm gonna keep watching the volume on our audio too, and if it goes down, I'll just crank it back up. I see where the problem is, and it seems like it just wants to keep lowering it for some reason. I don't know why. So, anyways, I will leave that up for right now, and we will see. We'll see if there's any way that we can kind of fix it. We'll fix it. Or we'll try, at least. So, anyways, there he is. Let me see if we get those beats on. So anyway, like what I was saying, guys, there was 4 or 5 videos that I did. I did a video on SpaceX Starlink version 4 versus the Mini. That was like a big video. And then after that one, I was talking about how Elon Musk was crushing the cronies, the crony telecom. I was doing that one. Then after that, we were talking about the data cap that was going to ensue and how there was going to drop speeds. And then today I did another one that kind of honed into that. What is going on with that data cap? And then also, what is the story with this whole priority and how people are just really upset about it? They sent me so many emails, and that's why I did today's video. So I'm going to get into all that today. There's a lot to get into. But in the meantime, let's see if we can get audio back. I see beats are in. Beats are in. Let me turn on the audio. All right, go right ahead. Let me see. You still there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Now, how are you guys? Can you guys hear Shannon? Is it coming through better? Not as much static?
How about it, guys? Any more or static or echo or anything like that?
William said feedback, but too loud.
Too loud. All right, we'll turn them down just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, you just keep doing you, Shannon. I'll adjust the.
You don't want me to me on here.
I'll keep on adjusting the audio over here until we get it just right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Ken says sounds good. Awesome glow, a lot better. Sounds much better.
All right, that's what we want to hear.
My nephew is Monahan Outdoors, so whatever.
Oh,
Don't
nice. That's good.
Okay, so I guess we're good.
Yeah, we're good for right now. We're going to leave it just the way it is. Our audio is all right. It could be a little bit louder, but I don't want it to peg either and then start losing data because for some reason the computer just wants to. You know how the computers do this thing, whereas you tell it to go to one volume and then it's like, oh, you're a little bit loud. We want to kind of knock you back a little bit. Then you put it up a little louder. It's like, oh, wait a second. Let's put you down again. And that's exactly what it's doing. So I got to figure that out, see where that change can be made on Linux Mint. But anyways, for now, we'll leave it just like that. So anyways, like I said, Shannon, tell everyone who you are. Where are you right now? It looks like you're in the middle of some kind of like tech jungle.
Okay, so I'm in Glendale, Arizona specifically. Okay, and if I'm talking too loud, guys, just let me know and I'll drop it down a little bit. Um, I think most of the regulars in the channel know that I do some type of off-road racing, vending, Starlink kind of stuff. And so I actually go and I take this 28-foot cargo trailer to those locations. I open up my little vending window and I make money. I sell people, sell stuff to people. I make them happy, keep them happy. So this was the best option for Shannon's studio. My office is too small and too cluttered for that, and so I figured, I had the cool little TVs up behind me here, and why not have it out here and don't have to worry about barking dogs and all that other distractions. So
I like it.
It's awesome.
I love it. I love it. Is that air conditioned fixed now? Are we good?
It's working today. Yes. Yes.
That is a plus.
That's the worst.
It's important.
You have an AC go down. Now that's an issue. That ends up becoming a very, very big issue really quick. So yeah, guys, if you have a question for Shannon or for us, put a @JCristina in the chat, @JCristina, because it pops up. You could put a Q before your question. That's okay too. But @JCristina just makes it super, super simple. So let's say hello to everybody. Fab, you want to get in here and kind of...
I've been in here. Where have you been?
Okay. All right.
Who
do we got?
Everybody is
at the very top. We got Fragile, right?
Yeah.
Ricky Joe?
Yeah. We've got Phil's camping in the house. Peter Gosling had to go because he worked a 28-hour shift or something. So he said
Peter.
Tonight. Kevin Thiel, Robbie, Giglio, Tom, Radioactive. Oh, I can't talk today. You guys, I sound like Kermit, so excuse me. I'm still sick. Radioactive Texan is in the house. Monahar Outdoors. Didn't you just say?
Yes.
That was...
That's my nephew, yeah.
Nephew. There you go. How are you doing?
Rubicon. No One. Fighter Plane. Let's see. Gala Girl. I've been talking to Gala Girl. Wait, what is this right here?
I don't know.
You can't say it?
I can't.
Juelitas Tristes?
There you go. That works to me.
Oh, like something. Well, I don't know what Juelitas is, but Tristes is sad. Travis, what's up?
How you
Eric.
doing? How's it going, Travis?
William, Bob. Montana. No, that I just said that. I swear. It's Friday. You guys, it's going to be on today with me. I'm telling you, I'm all over the place.
All right.
Steel Wolf, Paul S. Bad Bobber.
Bad Bobber.
Martin Maynard, greetings from the beautiful area of Manford, Oklahoma, right off Keystone Lake. Paul S.
Sweet.
City Twister HD. Let's see.
What was that?
City Twister HD.
Oh, I heard something else.
Already, Shannon? Jeffrey L. Steele. Skippy is in the house. All right, Awesome Glow. Elusive Truths. I like some of these names.
I like that.
Right? Let's see. Jay Goodmunder, I see you're in here. He said, searching old 129 address, resolved to Chicago 143 address, seemed to be Winnipeg.
Yeah, that's always an issue.
Ken Harris.
How you doing, Ken?
And our GSD rules in the house tonight. David Colwell. Yeah, I think.
David is here.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Kill him. 41171.
Nice.
Yes. Glenn Kowalchuk. Will Fabiola get her new bathroom before Gigabit Starlink? Probably not, Glenn. No, we have done, well, I should say, Joe has made some improvements. He finished tiling the toilet area and took out the old toilet and put in a new toilet. Holy. So you guys ganging up on him has helped me a ton. We are getting closer.
Now we have a shower and a toilet.
Oh.
And a tub and tile throughout.
Yeah,
So
but
what
the
do we
tub's
have
not
left?
usable yet.
No, the tub's not
Yeah,
usable.
yeah.
So we have tile left on the tub,
Around the tub.
and
And
the countertops to
the
put in.
countertops, we had the vanities.
They're
We've
ready.
got to
The
bring
vanities
those
are
in.
already in the foyer, so they're
Yeah.
ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, and I hired an electrician that came to the house and did all kinds of stuff for us. So.
Did all
That
kinds of
was
stuff.
probably a good idea.
Yeah. Right.
Shannon,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
It
I
was
had
a
to
good.
drop the hammer
You're
on
good
that
at
one,
low
Shannon.
voltage. Low
Yeah.
voltage.
It was a
That's
good
what
idea.
happened.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It was a good
Oh,
idea.
by the
Go ahead. Oh,
No.
Oh,
What
I
is
like
it?
that.
yeah, you'll see it when it comes around again.
That's cool. That's awesome.
A few digs at you, Joe.
I like it. I like it.
That's
More-
good
the more
stuff.
digs, the
there's one
merrier.
for Fab too.
Oh yes, there it is. I like that. That's cute. That's really cute.
Yeah.
Are these AI generated, or were you just like just drawing all day long?
All day long. I,
All right, I'm gonna hit up some questions because
All
I
right,
see a
let's
few
do it.
here.
Let's do some
I'll type it
questions.
in the chat, but if you have a question, put at JCristina. It's easier to highlight, and I can try and see it better in the chat. Here we go. No one. Have you tried the latest kernel 6.14? I just upgraded to Fedora 42 and kernel 6.14, and I love it.
I have not as of yet. I have not, but I'm hearing really good things about the new Fedora, and I'm thinking about giving it a shot because I did switch out the thermal printer that I was using for all of my labels. So, it installed immediately into Mint, but Mint is a derivative of Ubuntu, so I don't know if it's gonna work on Fedora or not. So I might install it and give it a shot and see. But I've been hearing a lot of good things about it, so we'll see. We'll see. Thank you for that, though.
Yes. All right. Let's see. Kevin said, "Good work on the bathroom, JC.
Thank
you got
you.
a gold star."
Gold
Tom
star.
said, "That's what I call a complete shitter."
It's getting close to it. It's coming close to a complete shitter. Not
William
quite.
said it's a photo of the bathroom. I have photos, and I will have him upload them either
No,
tonight.
I have some. Matter of fact, if you go to the community page,
Oh, okay. You put them
go
there already?
to youtube.com/JCristina, youtube.com/JCristina, and then go to the community page, and you'll see a bunch of pictures of the bathroom. I don't think the crapper is in there yet, but there's a lot of other pictures
Well, I
you can
have
see
them.
in there. You got them? All right, I'll have to
And Shannon had super chatted us for my purple hair and special guest. And I like it.
Oh,
there it
you
is.
forgot
It's
the on-air light.
Oh, wait a second.
Oh,
It does
wait,
not have
stop.
on there. Wait,
Come on.
hold on.
Stop.
Let me roll myself.
Holt. Fired it
Stop
up.
the show.
I know. What's wrong with him? Come on.
There we go.
We were somewhat distracted.
I know. Oh my God.
Rolling back.
Taking me straight
Look.
out.
Oh.
Oh, here we go.
I have to.
Here we go.
I'm not gonna blow
Oh
you up.
no, and he's got one too. Oh my God.
What happened? Let me see.
All right. First of all, I want to say this, Joe. I will admit your rocket's bigger than mine. Okay.
Oh no, kid! You have one. Let me see that. Hold that up. So
It doesn't
wait.
make that good. Yeah.
Does it blow a flame torch out of it?
I mean, yeah. You can't. Hold on.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, I like it. All right, so
Yeah.
let's give this one a shot. You gonna back up? All right, here we go, guys. Let's give this one a shot. Let's see. Sometimes they'll go this far. We'll see. Hold on. Nothing. Hold on.
Oh wow.
Oh, it did not.
And for forever, I've been wanting to give you my theory on why that first fire up is always so much. It's sitting there, all that pressure's all built up. You go and you release it,
and then that's
after
it. Let me
that,
hit it one more time.
Oh, I think it's running out.
It looks like kind of my flame's bigger.
Yeah.
You know, I think you do have a. I think you
yeah.
have a bigger flame.
Oh, wow.
But I have
Bigger
a,
rocket, bigger
But
flame.
I have a bigger rocket.
Wow.
So, let me see. I have to shout out Robbie over there. Robbie, thank you so much. There's something I believe that we'll be talking about
Yes.
in the not so distant future. So thank you very much. We're going to be watching for that. So I'm going to leave it at that because, I love giving stuff away. I'm not going to do it. So any other questions, put them in there.
Yes,
and
I'm going to try and hit up some right here.
I'm going to try changing this poll. I want to see. Give me a good poll. Give me something. Shannon, give me a good poll. Either the yes, no, whatever. Give me a poll.
Gosh.
Come on.
For what?
How long until the next Starship launch?
All right, we'll do that.
Dwayne Green, love your channel. I'm an OG Starlink user. Love your switching to Linux series. Been debating making the switch myself. Got till October to decide. Well, you have a little bit of time.
Yeah, that's true. Because October, if you guys don't know it, it's going to be end of life for Windows 10. So if you're currently using Windows 10 and you don't want to migrate to Windows 11 because you don't want Billy the Kid to spy on you all the time, well, it might be time, well, he's not even there anymore, but it might be time to move on to another OS, another operating system, and Linux is not a bad idea. So give it a shot. Definitely give it a shot. I would also suggest, if you can, use a pen drive, install it onto the pen drive, and then run it from the pen drive. And see if you like it. Because if you don't like it, you just simply unplug it and you keep using the Windows trash. It's all good, no problem. So yeah, give it a shot.
All right, Galagirl has a question. I use the TP-Link 8-port gigabit switch. I plugged an in switch into it. One game specifically won't connect to the game server. I use Starlink Wi-Fi, both 5 and 2.5. Still won't let me.
So, some games have a problem with you not having a static IP or CGNAT. Carrier grade network address translation. If that is the issue, you're not going to be able to play that game just because of that reason. There could be other issues, but that is one of them. And I've heard down the grapevine that there's been some games, matter of fact, on Xbox and PlayStation are difficult to play through carriers like Starlink. So is this something, Gallagher, that you've played in the past and all of a sudden it stopped working, or is this something that's never worked? Let me know. She said,
connect to game server. I connect to T-Mobile Wi-Fi. Am I able to connect? Why is this, do you think?
So if you could, so you can connect through T-Mobile, but you can't through Starlink, or you can connect through Starlink, you can't through T-Mobile. Let me know. Okay, let me know. It's probably CGNAT. There's something going on with that.
Jay Gunmunder, did the electrician put plugs into the shower stall?
Actually, he put a fan and this really brilliant light in there. That's what he put in there. So
he brought us a little bit into 2025.
Yes, he did.
We
don't have to use candles anymore. So,
we were stuck in 1998.
We remodeled our bathroom a couple years back, and I wanted to put, because in that bathroom it's a vaulted ceiling. And when the home was built, it just had one of the little flat, lights that beam down. I wanted to kind of have like a hanging light, or not a chandelier.
Well,
but,
that's what I'm gonna have, is the chandelier.
Yeah, and I talked myself out of it because if it ever fell and.
Oh no, I'm not gonna put it over the the bathtub, but no. So because these vanities have been in there for 3 almost years. I'm like, dude, am I even gonna like them?
Probably not.
They're like, you know what I mean? They're
Probably
like 3
not.
years ago.
Outdated already.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But at this point, it is what it is. Home Depot's not taking it back.
It's definitely not going to take it back, for sure.
Yeah. So here we go.
Hey,
Billy.
so I put that poll in there. Let's see if Streamlabs picks up the new poll that I stuck on the channel. So what's the new poll about? The new poll is when the next launch will be.
Okay.
So will it be April or May? Right. I just wanted to put something in there just to see if it works, to see if that's what Streamlabs is pulling. So, anyways.
Let me go back here.
While you're looking at other. Did it come through?
About the V3 satellites. I didn't see the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Is that what you put?
No, not at all. I put when will be the next Starlink launch, and I put in there April.
It says a poll is going on for Will SpaceX Starship IFT-8 successful? Oh, that's the old one,
That's the
right?
old one. Yeah, yeah, that's the
Okay.
old one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
My
old
bad.
one. So let me just tell you guys, I got a lot of questions on what the difference between the Dish version 4 with the Generation 3 is in comparison to a Mini, right? Because some people they've been wanting to, I'll get into the question in just a second. This is just something that a lot of people have been asking. I want to get into it. So a lot of people have been asking about this because they're trying to decide, should I buy the latest and greatest, or should I buy the Mini, which is better in certain circumstances because then you can take it with you, and the Mini runs on battery, right? So you can plug it in through USB-C, or you can plug it in through a barrel connector. Either which way, it will work perfectly. Whereas with the Dish 4, version 4 with the Gen 3 router, you really can't do that as well. Can you? Yes, you can. There's different things you can do. We can get into that in another time. But the difference also is the version 4 with the version 3 third gen router, it takes about 75 to 100 watts of power, whereas the Mini takes about 25 watts of power to 40 watts. That's it. And once again, it runs on DC instead of AC, so you don't have to do that conversion that no one wants. Now, even though that sounds all great, there is also some downsides to using a Mini in comparison to using, let's call it the Maxi, the latest and greatest, right? The version 4, Generation 3 router. The difference is you're going to get speeds with the Gen 4s, the newest, the larger. You're going to get speeds about 150 to 250 megabits down. And your up speed will be, let's say, around 20, 25 megabits. Whereas with the Mini, you're only going to get about 100, sometimes 150, 180. Some people are saying they're getting more, but it's usually less. And then also on the up speed, you're going to get slightly less also. As far as your latency, you end up about 2 milliseconds less on average if you do a lot of tests across the board. So if there's an average of 29 milliseconds, for example, on the version 4, on the Mini, you're going to get about 33 milliseconds, 32 milliseconds, 31, somewhere around there. So there is a difference. Also, the Mini is a Wi-Fi 5 router. It is not Wi-Fi 6. So it's a dual band compared to a tri-band. Also, you're going to have only 128 instances, right, on the Mini, whereas with the newest, the version 4, you're going to have up to 235 devices simultaneously. So you're getting a little bit better with the new version 4 in comparison to the Mini. The other thing that some people are concerned about is security, and WPA3 is on the new router and the new setup, but with the Mini you're getting WPA2, and the reason being is, yes, it is once again a Wi-Fi 5 router. It's an AC router instead of an AX router. So there is some downsides, but the biggest upside to it is if you want to take it with you, like someone like Shannon, who can take it and literally strap it to any car, any vehicle, off-road, doesn't matter. Stick it into a battery and call it a day, and now you have Wi-Fi. Let's say during a Baja race, right? Shannon, tell me a little bit about that. Is that something that you've tried with the Minis? Is anyone else that you talk to doing the same type of thing, using a battery to power a Mini, and it actually works? And what kind of speeds are they getting?
So all of the racers are hardwiring them into the cars. And so they started off with Gen 2s, then Gen 3s, and then the Mini launched. And so you'll find that some of the people that started early will still have their Gen 2s, Gen 3s. And now everybody seems to be going with the Mini. It just makes sense because in racing, every ounce, counts. Every pound counts, right?
Right.
As far as weight goes. So they want to go the smaller the better. And plus, especially with the Mini in that scenario, you have the advantage of going, DC, straight from the battery or straight from a panel of some type, versus, if you went with the 2 or 3, you're doing some conversions there.
Right.
So that's the trend that I'm seeing is with the minis.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just like we
Yeah,
were talking about, they're wiring it straight into the cars, and it makes sense because the Mini can take either 12 volt, direct 12 volt DC, or it can take all the way up to 48 volt DC. So what people are doing is, like, for example, with a Tesla that's pushing out 16 volt, it doesn't matter because the Mini's going to take it, right? And
right.
even if you have a golf cart battery, for example, people do this on a golf cart too. You could have a 12 volt setup, and when you're using one battery, you could use it on a 36 volt golf cart setup, or even a 48 volt golf cart setup, and it's going to be able to use it either which way. So yeah, there's a big benefit to using a Mini for that, because you don't have the inverter that sucks power, right? Because whenever you invert AC to DC, you lose about 10-15% of your power. So that's really good. I mean, it makes sense. And once again, like you're saying, weight matters. Every ounce matters when you're racing. So, all around it makes sense. And they don't need the added niceties that you get with the full-blown version 4 with the Gen 3. So it always it just depends on what you need it for, right?
And I was going to say, you just gave me an idea for a new market for that. Golfers.
Yeah.
You're saying golf carts, right? Can you imagine them cruising around the golf course with a Mini sitting on top of that thing?
I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, that'd be amazing because they need it,
Yeah.
right? Keeping
Yeah.
score and
Yeah.
Yeah,
chatting
the
to each other,
GPS or
because
whatever.
don't they like go in groups and one group's
Yeah.
ahead and who knows what else?
No, but
GPS
it's
of the
so
cart.
I mean, when we went to Washington, the golf course that we were at, it was huge.
yeah, like really big. So yeah, I mean the amount of things that you can do with a Mini is just crazy.
Listen, nowadays people use technology forever just to use it for anything, like just because. So
Absolutely. No, it's true. It's absolutely true. So, anyways, any more questions before
Yes,
I
a
jump
whole
in there?
bunch.
Okay. All right. I'm going to be quiet and let's get into some questions.
Shannon did gift 10 memberships. So if you did get a membership from Shannon, please give a shout out.
Shannon, thank you so much.
Yes.
For the very first time, you are very welcome.
Thank you.
You can actually say it now.
You guys get a verbal. You're welcome.
Verbal.
So awesome.
There you
yes.
go.
Yes.
There's 10 of them. So it's Kelly, Dan, while you're going into that. Kelly, Dan, Gramps Arcade. I love that. Gramps Arcade. Vapes, Lane, Frosty Delight, Stacy, Tim, who else? Manuel, Logan. You guys all got free memberships from Shannon. So say thank you. Would really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And I'm sitting here. I see William sitting there. Oh my God, is this a membership, Shannon? And like a total moron, I'm about to say, yes, it is. Yeah.
And you're
Yes,
going to start
it is.
typing. Yes.
One and only. Yes, I do have a website. No. I'm not here for that.
What is the website? Let's put it in here.
Put it in the chat.
BajaRacingGear.com.
Let's see. There you go. BajaRacingGear.com. I'm going to copy paste it over here. Make sure I didn't fat thumb it before I put it into the chat. Hold on, guys. Nope, I didn't. Wow. Unbelievable. There you go. There it is.
All right,
Baja Racing
City
Gear.
Twister, are you doing a challenge or something with Linux? I'm confused. You're not using Windows.
Yes. So my Windows is here. And it's been here for over, I think it's like 180 days now, 190 days, somewhere on there. I'll have to verify that. But it's about 6 months plus at this point. It has not come out of this bubble pack or whatever. Okay, it's stayed in here. I've never put it back in. I haven't done updates. I haven't done anything. I really need to, because I know people have been on me. Do the updates before it goes end of life, and then you can't. So I might do that. But I've been using Linux for everything. All video production, audio production, any kind of DP work, photography, videography, anything that you can imagine. Everything has been done in Linux this whole time. So in this, let's call it a challenge if you would like, I did a life after Microsoft Windows cutting the cord. Life after Microsoft Windows cutting the cord. Before that, I made a series called Life After Adobe Photoshop, or excuse me, Life After Adobe Cutting the Cord. And the reason being is I just got sick with Adobe, and Adobe just started stealing money continuously in perpetuity because you couldn't buy it anymore. You had to rent it, and you pay them forever for junk. So I ended up going with alternatives, and I took you on that trip. The same thing that I'm doing now with Linux. I'm taking everyone down that same path. With me and see if they can do it. If they can do it, good. If they can't do it, I get it. It's fine, but we're going to test it. And as of right now, everything's working. I don't even know that I'm using Linux every single day. It just doesn't work.
And I envy you, Joe, because
Come on.
I mean, Windows is like being addicted to something. I've been using Windows forever.
Right.
And when you have so many important things, your entire life is in that version of Windows. I'm literally frightened to step away from it. But I am in that where I have Windows 10 on one machine, Windows 11 on the new machine, and no time to move my life from one to the other, which I'm going to have to find time. I do want to try the whole dual boot thing, but I just haven't had time for that. But I think a lot of people, at least from my personal opinion, are scared to make that move because they're afraid if they screw up and lose everything, that's the biggest fear, I think. So
that is such a good point, Shannon. That is a really good point. And I can't stress this enough. Do you remember earlier I said, listen, if you want to try Linux, stick it on one of these sticks, boot off that stick, and then test it on here. If you don't like it, pull it out, chuck it, and you're good. You can boot back into Windows. You don't have a problem. But do me a favor. If you want to install Linux, pull out your Windows. Do not dual boot it, okay? Do not dual boot it. I don't care. I know there's a lot of people that love dual booting. I think it's fantastic. But the way I did it is I have a card, and I have 4 of these in my computer. It's cheap. It's like under $100, and allows you to put 4 of these little, let's call them chips, right, into the computer, which are hard drives. These are 2 terabytes, okay? So I have 4 of them in there, 4 operating systems, and I can boot off any one of them, and they won't hurt each other. So I can pull them out if I want. So anyways, long story short, do it on this first. Then if you do want to move to this, if you have a computer that allows you to stick in 2 hard drives simultaneously, unplug the one that has your important data, your Windows on it, and then do all of your work on the other at first. And then you want to move stuff over when you feel comfortable. But don't dual boot, because sometimes the shit goes bad and now all of a sudden Grub's not working, and now you can't get back into Windows, or something got corrupt, or you formatted the whole damn thing instead of formatting just the one drive, or you formatted the wrong drive. That's even worse. You formatted the wrong drive because you have
this is why, like Shannon was saying, people are scared.
That's why they're scared, and I get it. I would be scared crapless too. So you just have to do it thoughtfully, and that's, matter of fact, why and patiently. Yeah, and that's why I made this. I made this.
Luckily, and I will say, against your advice, because this wasn't until you started doing the videos, and I had just an extra little mini PC laying around that had Windows 10 in it, and I tried the whole install next to. And if you don't do this every day or often, like a guy, like you do, for example, you may not understand some of the, some of the options that are popping up there for you. And that was my problem. Yeah. And so I wrote over my Windows, and luckily, I it didn't write over anything I needed.
Right.
And since then, I think I've done like 5 different operating systems on that thing. It's just a toy to play with, but, but I hear you, and I don't fully understand, pulling that lid off my PC, and I'm an old HDD guy,
Yes.
And then there were I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, but, SSDs. Yeah, you went from the old hard spinning.
Yes. So
Yes,
I don't have very
drives
much
to
experience with these uh, NVMEs or
NVMEs,
whatever.
yeah. So if you
Yes.
guys don't know, this is an NVMe, okay, which is basically the equivalent to an SSD. Like if you took an SSD drive, which is a solid state drive, you took it all apart, you're going to see something like this in there. Not exact, but it's going to look like this, right? So the NVMEs are faster. So your read write speeds are extremely fast. Like when I boot up my Linux from scratch in the morning when I walk in the studio, it boots up in about 9 seconds, maybe 10 seconds. And that's not from sleep mode. That's literally a full boot cycle. That's how fast it is. Like within 10 seconds, I'm sitting at the prompt to enter in my password. Just so you get an idea how fast this stuff is. So it's not like Windows, you're booting, you're like, oh my God, what the hell is it doing? What is it doing? It's like searching for like some patch that's, it's not like that. It's like this, and I'm working immediately. So, but yeah, NVMEs, if your computer has the ability to install 2, do that. If you can only install 1, pull out your Windows, stick in a fresh one, and do the install after installing your Linux onto one of these. Anyways, that's the Linux conversation. I know Fab's got a lot of questions, so jump in there.
Yeah, let me.
I'm sorry. I know we're getting behind.
We went off into the Linux realm.
Well, you can't kick me, Fab.
You know what?
That's true.
We're gonna have to make a special trip. Let's see. I did want to make a point when you were talking about the Baja racing. Hold on, I just lost it. Oh, your nephew Monahan said some of the racers use the Starlink for communication, but some of the racers actually live stream to their teams and even their moms. Over 90% of the racers use Starlink in the 1000s.
There you go.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally changing the way that communication is done down there in the races. It used to be, it still is, simplex VHF radios.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes, and it still is, although it's dying off because all these, and it's mid to high dollar race teams that are just doing this satellite communication thing, and then all their chase vehicles have Starlinks, and so the chase teams know exactly where the race vehicle is at all times. They're using push to talk over that data connection, and it's no more dead spots really, unless
That's amazing.
Your 4 tires and you're on your roof, then you're SOL. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's changed the game quite a bit, and not everybody, not even close to everybody that races those races has the budget for that. And plus, I think I saw one motorcycle, the guy who had a Mini on
That's great.
Yeah, I don't remember where I saw that, but your motorcycle and your quad teams, it's just not something you'd want to do. So
Yeah. No. I agree.
For an emergency or coming soon, if we ever get data,
Yeah.
you can install like a Zello or something like that, and you can connect that up to your standard, motorcycle kits with the push to talk button to make that work, and then you'll have I'm sure that data can handle.
Yeah, that'd be enough.
Voice, 5-second piece of voice going over the internet. So
yeah,
that's what I'm excited about. Is
So do you think that they would? So do you think that they would move to DTC for that? I don't know, Shannon. And the reason being is DTC is kind of like on off based on if you're in an emergency situation or not. Because if you could even get a slight cell coverage anywhere, it will not drop to DTC for nothing. So you literally have to be in the boondocks nowhere with no cell at all for it to drop over to direct to cell coverage.
How many of those would you like? That means Northern Baja has like no cell phone coverage.
So then that would be DTC coverage all day long then.
Yeah. And then, you can get a SIM card for Mexico so that when you do come into a coverage area, it'll switch to that. And then you leave
Right.
that coverage area and it's back to DTC. I got it all planned out. I just need Elon's cooperation.
Yeah, we need
We're-
Elon on a few things.
Yeah, there's-
he's kind of busy though.
Yeah, he's
Shannon.
been a little too busy lately. I don't know.
Oh, that's good shit.
I actually reached out to him today about something. That doesn't mean I'm going to hear anything back, but who knows? Maybe someone from the team will be able to write back because it was one of you guys
I
asking.
just always get to see him in passing.
Exactly. But there was one of the questions that you guys had that was a really, really good question. And I'm going to pose it to you guys right now. And this is the question I asked for Elon to answer. And the question was that now that they are moving to this new data stream, this new data coverage that I talked about the last couple of days, right? Where the priority service, local as well, local priority and global priority is changing and the prices are going up, either $40 for the local or $150 for each for the global. The thing is the price went down for priority 40 or 50 gigabyte from $140 down to $65. And in your mind, you were like, that's less than half. That's a good thing. But the problem is it's not a good thing in some situations. And the reason being is in the past, once you used that 40 gig, let's say 50 gig up, it dropped you back from priority to standard service. So you didn't lose your service or it didn't get slower. You didn't get any kind of throttling. But the thing is now with the new TOS or terms of service that they have going on over there at SpaceX Starlink is that if you have a priority 40, you're going to have to buy up. You're going to have to buy the another 50 gig allotment, data block is what they call it, another 50 gig, or your service is going to go down to 1 megabit down and 0.5 megabits up. Basically, it'll shut down. And that wasn't the case before. So one of the or a bunch of the people wrote into me and they said, listen, do you know if we do have this service, many times we have these updates that happen all the damn time. Firmware updates, software updates, and sometimes it's like a gig. Sometimes it's 5. It's pretty big. And if that happens, will those be, let's say, grandfathered in, or will they be put into like this bypass mode where that number of megabytes or gigabytes that are downloaded are not going to be in the allotment that you are given? In other words, they will be free because it's an update, yes or no. And I didn't have an answer for them. So hopefully someone could reach out to me from SpaceX so I can tell you guys. But that's a very good question because now every single bit of data counts and you have to pay for it when you run out. It doesn't just drop you back to that, let's say, instead of priority to just a standard speed or deprioritize. It's not like that. Now, before anyone gets scared out there that's listening, this is only for local priority and for global priority. So that's like business class, it's maritime, that's air, any of that stuff. It's not going to be, it's for mobility. It's not for your residential. So anything that I just said, disregard if it's residential that you're using, because there is no, there is no, let's say, throttle or any kind of data cap when it comes to residential. So, anyways, I had to put that out there because it was really important. A lot of people asked that question. Anyways, go jump in. Sorry.
I'm gonna take over your
I'm sorry.
speaker audio thingamajig.
Are you gonna shut me off?
I'm gonna totally shut you off. I'm gonna rip it clean off.
Okay.
Let's play with our rockets while she reads those out.
Yeah. Kill41171. Can you use stream games in Linux? Helldivers 2 is my current guilty pleasure.
Yes, so I did do a video, check it out, on the Life After Windows Cutting the Cord series. I did Linux. I did play a game. I think I played PoE 2, but you could play. So just so you know, the answer to that is yes, and there's over 15,000 games currently on Steam that you can play on Linux. That never used to be the case, but now it is. So the answer is 100% yes. And the games play better frame rates, better FPS on Linux compared to Windows. Go ahead.
Josh Nichols said you're picking up each other's mic.
Whose mic? Our mic?
I'm not the tech person, I'm assuming. Testing 1, 2, 3.
No, we have one mic on. Maybe the mic is coming through I don't know. It's picking up each other's mic. So, Shannon, do you have any mic bleed going on over there? Can your microphone hear what's in your ear or no?
I mean, I don't know. It's not a cheap brand. I don't know.
So yeah, so maybe that's it. When Shannon speaks, maybe it opens up the mic a little bit more, and then you can hear it a little bit more. I don't know. I don't think
Maybe
that.
it's when I lean in here. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
Lean over to the laptop.
Whatever. We'll figure it out on the next one. This is a test drive, right? This is just for fun. We'll get it right on the next one.
All right. Ricky Joe. Ricky Joe, what's up? I know
How you doing, Ricky Joe?
Putting in some questions, but Joe's taking so long.
I'm sorry.
If he did put plugs in the shower, be sure they're GFCIs. LOL.
Yes, they are.
Gallagher. Oh no, Jake Gudmunder. Do you know if QuickBooks accounting works on Linux?
It does not.
No, it does not.
Well, that's not true. So you can use it on Linux if you use Wine or
that's
another.
His holdback to Linux. It's not being able to use.
Or
QuickBooks.
you can use like a VM, like a virtual machine, to let it run or something. So yeah, that there's it. It doesn't. Matter of fact, Intuit hates Apple. If you guys don't know it. So Quicken that you get on Apple is junk compared to Quicken that you get on Windows. That's just what they've always done, right? Intuit has always done that. They don't like Apple. The same thing with Linux. They don't make one for Linux. So you would have to use it in like a compatibility mode using, like I said, a VM or something else. So you could do it, but you don't have to dual boot, but you have to go a little loop, to make it happen.
Okay, Gallagher, correct. T-Mobile Wi-Fi, yes. Starlink Wi-Fi and Starlink through TP-Link, nope. It seems to have worked before, and sometimes it randomly works on Starlink, but mostly nope.
So let me go back there. So it works. So correct. T-Mobile Wi-Fi, yes. So I'm going to say that it probably has something to do with not the Starlink itself. I think that it has to do, I think it has to do with CGNAT. I think that it's carrier grade network address translation is the problem. Do I know that for sure? I don't know. But I have a feeling that's the issue.
Okay, what is that?
There is a lot of poops going on there. Oh my God.
I use my monthly for that. I didn't want
Holy
to type
jeez.
something all long. So
I love that. That is a lot. 15 months. Look at all those poops.
And here's a fact for you. The purple poop does not show up in that for that thingamabobber
Oh,
there.
really?
And I have no idea why. Yeah.
And it's because, Alphabet is $1 trillion company. And, hence Google is, hence parent company, they all have so much money that they can't afford having a bunch of kids to be able to fix stupid shit like this. That's just
I
the
guess.
honest to God truth. So
I find it odd. I can go into regular chat and search for a pink poop.
Oh, look, my page is...
There it is.
My page just took
no,
a
hold
poop.
on. So hold on. I'm going to unplug this. So
This is what I'm seeing right now.
We just said I just finished saying how YouTube is kind of crap sometimes. So here you go.
This is what I'm doing.
So
Snap!
Yes.
So that's her page right now. Okay, this is what it looks like. So while she's reading chat, there's her chat there. Snap.
Can they even see that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's yeah. So whatever. But that's the kind of stuff that happens. It's just,
guys.
It's flaky. I mean, I get it. There's like millions and millions of people on here. But when you make billions and billions and billions of ad revenue, fix your crap. I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's your business. Fix it. So, anyways.
Okay.
I digress. So, yeah. 15 months, Shin. That's a bit. Thank you for being here for 15 months, Shin.
How far back I can go because look, I can't.
Oh, you're stuck now? Yeah, go back as far as you can go, and that's it.
I don't know if it will let me go back.
That's as far as you can go.
But it was never like that before.
It's broken. it's YouTube.
Well, you know what?
Hey guys.
That really sucks. That means that I can't backtrack
No,
to
you
those
can't.
questions, but it was never like that. You guys, like now, I don't even know.
So, any questions that have not been answered,
Well,
ask
there's
them
a
one
whole
more
bunch,
time.
a whole bunch.
So, all those whole
Oh
bunch,
my God.
all those whole bunch of questions, ask them again, because the thing crashed and now
William said on air.
I don't know what to
off,
tell you
start
guys.
over.
I don't know
So
what to
Joe,
tell you
I
guys.
just realized something.
Yeah.
So I just looked into this interface that I'm in,
Yeah.
and I am realizing that it is still using the default microphone array.
Ah.
So I am going to switch over. I'm going to start counting to 10, and
Okay.
then I'm going to switch over my mic. So
Okay,
ready?
do it. Go ahead.
1, 2, 4, 5.
Oh, that's nice.
6.
Oh wow.
That better?
I think, well, it's definitely different. So now which mic are you on right now?
The Beats.
Yeah, no, it's definitely cleaner. It's cleaner.
Okay, because I keep
All
seeing
right.
complaints in the chat. I'm so sensitive.
Johnny Appleseed says sounds better.
There you go. I like.
Good.
All right,
Win.
there. That's for a win. Beats for the win. I love my Beats. Beats are good stuff. They work out good. I actually
That's
like them better than the
awesome.
Apple stuff. But you know,
All right.
it's
Well,
just
I'm
me.
sorry, you guys. I can only go back so
Yeah.
far
So if you have
now.
a question that wasn't answered, please
I'm
ask it
sorry.
again at JCristina. Put them all in there right now. Put them
Tell
all.
Joe that he just talks too long.
Tell
And
YouTube
Peter,
that they
who
suck.
the hell you calling old?
Oh my God. Okay, let me see.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's all good. I love it. I love it. Hold on. Rob Giglio, I'm so glad I left Windows years ago. I'm using Mac. I want to try out Linux.
Yeah, Mac. Let me tell you. This is Robbie who wrote
Yeah,
that.
Robbie.
Oh, Robbie. Yeah. So Robbie, listen. Give Linux a shot, but if you're using Mac and you like it, I mean, it's still good. People don't understand it, but the Mac OS is basically Unix, like a derivative of Linux. Let's say it's Unix. It's an old school Unix build, and then they just made it look pretty. All right, they have a nice GUI, a nice skin on it. So anyways, graphical user interface. Bottom line is if you like your Mac, keep it. It's fine. As long as you're away from Windows, I'm all right with that. It's good. It's definitely good. But definitely try out Linux because it is, I like it a lot. I like it as good, if not actually better, I should say, than my, right back here, my Apple. I still have a lot of Apple product, but I like Linux. So
All right,
anyways, thank you, Rod.
WOT Clips, if you have PS5, you have Linux.
There you go. Yep. Absolutely. People don't realize this also, guys, that Linux is being run on every Starship, on every SpaceX Starlink satellite, on every POP or point of presence, in all of the ground stations, all the network operation centers that are currently in the entire SpaceX setup. They have hundreds and thousands and thousands of Linux OSs running right now. Linux runs it all. They're not running on Windows, I can assure you. So anyways.
City Twister HD, my cousin was using the Grub to dual boot, and indeed it's a mess. I tried everything possible to get Windows back on it. I spent a couple hours on it and gave up.
Yep, Grub is a problem. You know, they're trying to do away with it. There's other options out there, but it does give you issues, and you can definitely lose everything if you don't do things right. So, you know, or even if you do things right, sometimes it just gets janky.
Ricky Joe, with a Netgear Nighthawk at EX7000, it has 3 antennas in one in middle and the others on each side of that. Which is 5 gigahertz and which is 2.4?
Chances, well, you really don't know. It could be both. All three of them could be both 2.4 and 2 and 5. It just depends on how they set up. Like the Nighthawks that have like 8 antennas around them, different bands and stuff. It just depends on how they are. Do they have the antennas, like 2 antennas in each one? I really don't know. A lot of times they have, let's say, if you see the 2 and you can, point them any which way, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is 2.4 is going to push the signal further, but slower, whereas your 5.0, right, is going to push it not as far. It's going to be a closer signal. You can't push it as far out. The distance isn't as far, but your speeds will be faster. So if you're using 2.4 and you're using SpaceX Starlink, you're not going to see the speeds that you can see on SpaceX Starlink. But if you use 5.0, you can probably get there. Hopefully
Okay.
that helps.
Ricky Joe also said, "How is my AT&T internet? Air's loaded pings more latency than Starlink's loaded pings. My idle ping is low for both Internet Air and Starlink, but loaded pings huge difference."
That is really strange. That is strange. So I have not seen or heard that problem. That's for Phil. Is that right? Phil's camping?
No, Ricky
Who is
Joe.
that? Ricky Joe? Okay, yeah. So Ricky Joe, I really don't know. I have not seen problems like that, but I do know that I was speaking to someone today and they had very slow speeds. And for some reason, Shannon is that person. And for some reason, he got a new router and things cleared up. Shannon, you want to share that?
Yes.
So he was
And
having
and
issues, and I'm like, well, it could be this, and he ended up buying something new. Anyways, tell the story.
Can you up your
okay,
volume?
My volume,
yeah.
yes, I keep
And,
doing it
and
over and
and
over.
this is a message for everybody right here. So I had for a while I've had two ISPs, and I was running a T-Mobile hotspot and a Starlink as a backup. I had a PepLink modem based off of Joe's recommendations. But what I think I didn't take into consideration um, was the Wi-Fi capabilities of that unit, but it was never mentioned in all fairness. So fiber just came through my neighborhood, got fiber installed, 1 gig up, 1 gig down on Monday. Went to go do a speed test, and it was total crap, as Joe would say, crap, 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 right? And so Joe and I were having a conversation yesterday, and he says, no, you don't want to use that PepLink for Wi-Fi. You just want to use it as that little switchover between your two ISPs. And he says, go buy yourself a gaming router, AX, I believe Joe said, right?
Yep, an
AX.
AX. Yep.
And so I went shopping as I always do, with pleasure. And I found myself the Asus, can't remember the model number. And so it's an AX router. It's just, and the thing's like weighs a pound. It's huge. Um,
Huge.
it is huge. Yes, bigger than my rocket. And and so in before I even had it, and I started watching the whole YouTube video thing that I normally do. I noticed that it is capable of the ISP switching too, so it'll switch back and forth between the two ISPs. So it came here this morning. I hooked it up, nice clean install. I should have had that up there on the screen, but I didn't. And um, went to go do my test, and I nearly shit my shorts. And I took a picture of my speed test, and I emailed it to Joe with the subject line of "ye fucking hot." And I'm getting above 1 gigabit per second now on my PC with a 4 or 5 year old wireless Wi-Fi card. Don't even know what it is. I'm getting a gig up and gig down on that machine now,
Yeah. So
and I'm ecstatic.
stoked, right? So that's
Yes.
all that it is. So I recommended that router for him because based on what he was using, and I said, this is probably the issue, but there could be one more issue. The other issue is sometimes people will have a Wi-Fi card in their computer that is just shites. It's just garbage. It's China-made junk, and it just is the problem. And then ends up being the bottleneck. At that point, turn off that and then install another one, a new model, a better one, an AX, right? A good one, and now you're going to get faster speeds. So for him, luckily, his was good in the computer. He didn't have to go and install anything. That's all it was. It's just switching out a router from a PepLink to one of these gaming routers, end of story. And now, what's the speed difference? You're getting like, what was it before? Like 200 or so megabits or something?
No, I mean it was like 120, 130, 140.
And
Um,
now it's 900.
and now it's, well, even this afternoon was even better. But yes,
Yeah, over 1,000.
900. It's fluctuated a little bit depending on where I'm. Leave my
Right.
office. It's like 1 gig.
Right.
I mean, I'm really only like two walls and 20 feet away.
Gotcha.
So, but there's a lot of electronics in my house and everything else. But it's night and day. I obviously I want to get what I'm paying for.
Right.
I am one of the luckier ones that isn't paying as much as Joe pays for his fiber, but
Yes. Yeah. It can never be cheap, right? It can never be
not
cheap.
when it's in demand like you. You know, there was no competition.
There's no
To where here in
competition.
my neighborhood, Cox is competition,
Right.
so they had to price it accordingly. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
So that's good. All right. Let's jump into some more questions. What do we got?
Phil's camping. Phil, finally. I have a capacity of 530 AH of Life PO4 lithium battery and a
Gotcha.
2,000 watt battery pack in my four-wheel drive and camper
Sweet.
trailer. With Victron inverters, would I be best to skip the mini and get the version 3?
So, if the power that you have is adequate for everything you're doing and you don't mind using 75 to 100 watts for your dish, then you could go with a Gen 4, a Gen 3 router with a Gen 4 dish. That's not a problem. If power consumption is more important to you than slight speed increase of the version 4, version 3, combination, the mini would be better served for you because the mini is going to give you that direct connect. You don't need an inverter anymore, so you're not going to lose 15 plus percent on the conversion from AC to DC. So at that point, I would just get a mini. It's smaller. It's very compact. It's light. You could literally stick it in a backpack. You can throw it out on the floor, use it, pick it back up, throw it back into the camper, whatever you want to do. It's really, really, it does a really good job. It is by far the best, let's say, I would say it's probably the best dish ever. And not because it's the fastest or the lowest latency or anything else, but because it has the most versatility than anything that has come out so far. Being that you can power it through USB-C or you can power it through straight barrel connector DC from a Jackery, from an EcoFlow. I don't care what you have. And once again, you can power it through 12 volt or all the way up to 48 volt, and anything in between works perfectly. So hopefully that helps.
Robbie asked, I wonder how the new Starlink plans will affect all the cruise ships, the internet plane to its customers.
Yeah, so the cruise ships will be affected by it, but the effect is it's just nominal. And that's what I was talking about today. Everyone really, the people they've been really crazy about this whole thing where SpaceX changed their TOS so that there is no unlimited anymore when it comes to business class. You're basically going to pay for it, and when the amount of data is up, it basically won't work anymore. It'll go to 1 megabit down and 0.5 megabits up. But cruise ships are using their max plan. So what does that mean? The cruise ships are using global priority. Global priority on their max plan is $25,000. Now, today, or April 27th, I guess, it will be $25,150. Big shit. So it went up $150. The cruise ships don't give a crap about $150, but it's unlimited at that point. And that's why they make this plan that's so convoluted it really shouldn't be. Think of it this way. It's $25,000 for $25,000 for unlimited mobile priority. It's $15,000 or $15,150 now because they added the $150. It's $15,000 for 15 terabytes. But if you just think of it as a terabyte per thousand, 10 terabytes will be 10,000. 5 terabytes will be 5,000. 1 terabyte will be 1,000. It's just they added the $150 for global and they added $40 for the priority, not global, what they call local priority now. So anyways, hopefully that helps. But yeah, the cruise ships, they don't give a crap about the $150. It literally means nothing to them.
Okay, I'm trying not to read a lot of comments.
Okay.
I'm trying to just catch up
Yeah.
on questions. Dr. Stu, how come y'all are so awesomeness? Thanks for being here, Dr.
Thank you.
Stu.
Dr. Stu.
Let's see. Todd Thibault. How do you think that progress is going on Starship?
So as far as Starship goes, I really do believe that they're going to. I put a poll out there to see what people think. I think they're going to launch next month. I think it'll be April. It won't be May. That's my personal opinion. Um, they're figuring out a lot, and my thoughts on what went wrong ended up being pretty damn accurate. So they have some work to do. They stretched the ship, and in so doing, they added 25% capacity as far as propellant. There's a lot of things that they did, and in so doing, they changed some piping up. They did some other stuff. So there's some things that they have to fix, both on the Starship and the Super Heavy. Because if you remember in the last launch, they had problems with the Starship, then they had a problem with the Super Heavy, they had problems with the Starship. It was like this back and forth, and finally they canceled it, and they did it a couple days later. So there was just issues, all right? Issues, there's problems, and whenever you do, instead of iterative things, when you do innovative things, basically them going from Block 1 to a Block 2 ship, the Block 2 ship is going to have problems, okay? Because it is not, once again, just an iteration, a small, slight adjustment. They did a lot of new things. So that's just going to, they expect that. SpaceX is a company that works in a way that they want to blow shit up, and they want to blow it up as fast as possible so they can iterate and then finally innovate as fast as possible too. So what do you think? Let me just ask Shannon real quick. When do you think they're going to launch? Do you think it's going to be next month? Do you think it'll be April? Or do you think it'll be May?
I'm going to say prior to April 20th.
Okay, there you go. So sometime in April. Yeah, I do. I would have to agree. It will be most likely the last week of April. It'll be the end of April. Go ahead.
Ricky Joe asked. No, that's the same question. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm trying to catch up because you really.
Hey, Shannon put in a super chat in there with the Shannon with free gifts. Once again, look who got one at the top. It's Robbie.
It's the flux capacitor super chat.
Yes, the flux capacitor. I love it.
it.
Do you remember the flux capacitor? Oh, man.
Doc Brown.
Doc Brown, that was good stuff. Robbie, you got a free membership, Robbie. Ricky got a free membership. Bank, Forced Online. Let me see who else. Bernie's, Pearl, Michelle, Tim, Baby. Who is this? Baby something. I don't know. Anyways, Deborah, if you got a free membership, please say thank you to Shannon. And Shannon can say you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Live. Coming at you live. TGIF.
Thank you, Shannon.
It's a party. All right. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying
listening.
to catch up. You can just listen because I had to listen to you. So you could just sit there. Okay?
I will sit there.
Just sit there.
No, Johnny.
Jeffrey, don't sit your pants. Use Joe's new bathroom.
Wow.
Dawn, I had an issue with my nano beam, and the only solution was to switch to shielded twisted pair. I tried every cable I had in the house, and I had one STP cable that saved me.
Yeah. If you guys have any problems with interference, my suggestion has always been over the many, many years is change your cable to burial cable. Burial cable. Burial cable is basically like a Cat 8. It's really thick. It's got the gooey shit inside so that it's water resistant, waterproof. It's got many more twists. It's got the shielding. It's got everything. It is thick. It's hard to bend. When you use that stuff, I've never had ever a problem with RF, with any kind of any kind of frequency problem, any type of crosstalk or bleed over, because those cables are just good. So yeah, you change the cable, it worked, there you go. Better cable, better connection, faster speeds, lower latency, good stuff.
Okay, Bad Bobber. Is not having enough bandwidth availability the only reason why we would be on a waiting list? We are at 3.5 months on this list so far in Eastern Washington.
Yeah, that sucks. There was no waiting list before. Now there's a waiting list again. I was on a 9-month waiting list to get mine. The waiting list will go away. It's just not going to go away yet. It'll probably go away once we see the Starship launch and the Pez dispenser open up and put version 3s on orbit. Until then, there's going to be a waiting list, because the bottom line is certain areas are congested areas. There's too many people using them, and they can each satellite only beams a certain amount of data, and that is it. Once they hit that certain amount, it's kind of done. At that point, you have to cut it up like a pie. So, like, if you cut up a pie in 8 pieces, that's great. Well, how about if 10 people? How about if 10 pieces come? How about if 10 people come to the party? Now, all of a sudden, you have to cut it into 10 pieces instead of 8, so everyone gets smaller pieces. Then people start bitching and moaning because smaller pieces equals less speed. So they don't do that. Instead, what they're doing is they're putting people on waiting lists, so people's speeds that do already have SpaceX Starlink don't go so slow. I hope that helps.
Speaking of pies, Steve, do you know
Oh, no.
where we can see or maybe try Pi Phone?
Okay, so Pi phones are
How's that
bullshit,
for
guys.
transition?
I love that. That was top notch. And you even look great with the headphones on and everything.
Thanks.
See
Gala
that?
Girl said
Those
she
those
liked my
videos are
curls.
clickbait, guys.
They are clickbait.
Don't do it.
Tell it how it is, Shannon. Tell these people all about the absolute nonsense of the Pi phone and why.
Well, it all started with whoever the hell invented AI. It's all their fault. So, you know, I
Pretty
think Elon mentioned maybe a few years ago originally, there was a hint about a Pi phone. And then, what was it, about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, he said definitely not. And then he comes back and says, if I'm forced to, I will. And what he meant by that was, if Google and Apple decide to start censoring us, that the old Elon would make his own little Pi phone, and you know, that would be censorship free, First Amendment, say what you want, you know, with the limitations, guys.
No,
But
it's
Yeah.
that's
you can't
absolutely
say bomb,
no,
you
no,
know.
you
But
can't. No.
so it is. So the videos that you're seeing on YouTube or these posts on Facebook, they're all BS. I'm pretty anal about that, where I report it as misinformation now, since that's an option. I report everything whenever I have a spare chance. If I see about something up there that's total BS, I report it, and I encourage others to do that as well.
Yeah, because
I
it
love
really
it.
is BS. So all those Pi phones, they're not real.
There it is.
Elon
Yeah.
Elon said that it wasn't real, and they aren't real, and that's just the bottom line. There's no two ways about it. Elon's not going to make a Pi phone or a Tesla phone or any other phone, is what he said, unless he's forced to do so. And forced to do so translates in his mind means that they are going to somehow stop free speech or stop the freedom of allowing his app or other apps to be downloaded. So, for example, if Apple stopped all let's say apps from being downloaded, he would create his own phone, 100%. That's what he said. The same thing with Google and all the rest of them. He will create his own phone so that free speech can remain. See, people don't understand how adamant this guy is about free speech. I'm telling you, Shannon, right? He's like really, really about the free speech.
He is, and being a legal immigrant, you know, it's really nice to see. I'm a very patriotic person, you know, red, white, and blue go through my veins, type of thing. So to see, you know, somebody come here and have a successful life, the way that he has, and it has brought so much not only to us here in America but to the world. And be patriotic himself and love this country, which is what you're supposed to do. You know, you're coming here, you know, as a, you know, dream, and you know, you want to live the life. And he's a prime example. Although, you know, I don't think he had money, did he? From the beginning, Joe,
Not
he
a
figured
lot.
all on his own, right? The
Yeah.
PayPal thing, worked himself up the ladder. Now look where he's at. You know,
Yeah.
it's a good story, great story.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I mean, both my parents were immigrants. They came to this country, obviously legally. It took them about 4 or 5 years. You know, my mother was smuggled out of Nazi Germany, in 43. That's how she got here. So, it's just, I like to see people that come here because this is a land of, immigrants. I mean, that's what we are.
Yeah.
You have the natives that were here before us.
Yeah.
But then we have everyone that's just, that migrated in. But the difference is you just have to do it legally. So, yeah, Elon Musk is definitely about free speech, and he's going to hold people accountable for it. So that's why he spent $44 billion on a piece of crap Twitter. That's just the way it is,
Yeah. Hopefully he reaps the benefits of that someday, He deserves.
Yeah, I have a feeling he will. I think X will end up being less a Twitter and more of an everything. I think it's going to be eventually a bank. I think it's going to be a video platform that it's already basically has turned into. Originally it was, 140 characters or whatever. It was like nothing. Now you can't call stuff on X tweets because they're full messages, they're full videos, they're full they're live video. They're now
And
posts.
nobody knows what to call them.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's still calling them tweets.
Yeah, I just call them posts. That's for me. I think they're posts. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I use Grok from time to time.
Love Grok. Yeah.
However, I am somewhat irritated with the fact they are putting that stupid little watermark there in the bottom. I mean, I'm paying for that service, but if you've ever seen a AI generated photo come from Grok,
I haven't made any.
At the beginning, there was no watermark, and then suddenly they started putting watermarks on them. So you'd have to.
But is that because they want to make sure that people know it's an AI generated image and that it doesn't
I would
belong to someone
imagine
else?
that's their intention,
Yeah.
but
But that kind of sucks. That means you have to remove the watermark.
yeah.
No, I get that,
So-
but I'm saying because some people will pass images as legit.
Right, but
You know
those
what I mean?
people that are doing that are gonna get rid of the watermark just like I
I mean,
would.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you: when you go to Grok, are you using Deep Search? Are you using Think? Are you using Edit Image? Or are you just putting in just words and say, "Build me a photo"?
I just go into regular old Grok and I just type, make me an image for whatever idea I have in my head, and there it is.
Okay, gotcha. And it's watermarking it. Because I'm going to test it right now. So go
Yeah.
ahead.
All right. Robbie said, I'm out in the sticks and I got Starlink after being on the waiting list, and $600 later, I finally got it. We just got fiber after a decade later. Now I have fiber, T-Mobile, Starlink, and for backup.
So there you go. That's exactly, Robbie, that I have. I have fiber, I have T-Mobile home internet, and I also have SpaceX Starlink. All three of them are coming into, as I always say, my Raspberry Pi, and that is my router. This is my router, Raspberry Pi, all three, and it does failover, fallback. So if one goes down, we don't even know it. Like right now, we could be broadcasting on fiber, or we could be broadcasting on SpaceX, or we could be broadcasting on T-Mobile, and I don't know, and I don't care because it just simply works. So it works great. It works. Yeah, having redundancy, not having stuff in the sticks is just I don't have a choice. I love redundancy.
Peter Gosling.
Peter, how you doing, my friend?
April 7th for IFT 9.
April 7th.
IMO.
That's early. It could be. Anything's possible. All right. IFT 9, April 7th.
Well, don't you have that thing?
Yeah, I do have.
okay.
Yeah, I do have that poll going right
Yeah.
now. There's a poll on the channel.
Yeah.
Does it actually pop up? Probably not. I don't even know.
I don't know. Damn. All right, Tim Patek. Tim, I saw someone put their Mini inside their sunroof for road trips. Has anyone tried this? Does it work well?
That works 100%. How about you, Shannon? Do you know anyone that's done that? Stuck it in their car, stuck it in a sunroof, and it works?
Yeah. So the Mini is excellent for that. So for example, I have a Mini, although I haven't tried it in the truck yet, but I am going to fabulous Las Vegas next weekend. So
Wow.
Nice.
I've got a mount that I sell on my website.
Sweet.
And it's got these really super awesome suction cups. And so this mount, you can do it either or. So you can do exterior and just flip the suction cups down, and then or interior through the glass. And the suction cups, I've had it on my window in my kitchen for about 24 hours now, just to test it, you know.
Right.
And so yes, and the minis work great flat. I've had the mini out both flat and on the little stand. You know, they I ran my whole RV in January, two TVs and everybody's cell phones on the mini, no problem whatsoever.
That's
So
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that's one of the things that people ask me all the time. You know, do you have to point the dish in a specific direction? You know, and I keep telling them that as we get more and more satellites overhead, eventually you'll just be able to point it straight up. And we are at a point now that you can basically point the dish straight up, and you are going to hit enough satellites that you don't have to point it in a northerly direction if you're in the north, or a southerly direction if you're in the south of the equator. You could just point the damn thing straight up, and you're going to get plenty of satellites. Just like you're saying with your mini, you stick it pointing straight up, and it's fine. You're getting plenty of signal.
yeah,
Yeah, we finally hit that spot, and that's
I
why.
yeah.
And that's why, matter of fact, you remember I was talking about 6 months ago that the fully articulating heads are going to go away, and then they finally did, and now we just have a little kickstand. That was the reason why they went away, because they don't need to point them in any specific direction anymore.
They're
Just straight
fun to
up.
watch though. I love watching them.
So cool, yeah, yeah. I still
Yeah.
have mine on the roof. I love it. I think it's cool.
I had I don't know if I told you the story yesterday or not, but had a Gen 2. I was down in Baja for a race, and I got a big dually, and so it's got a fifth wheel hitch in the back. So I fabricated something to go, or found something actually, so I can mount that Gen 2 on the ball. And so I was cruising down the highway in Mexico
Uh-huh.
with that Gen 2, and you know it'll try to point, and then eventually it just gives up and goes flat.
Right.
But I was pulling 100 megabit per second, doing 60, 70 mile an hour going down the highway back then. And that was when they were discovering that people were using them while moving and were trying to restrict it.
Yeah.
They
I
didn't restrict
remember.
me. So yeah.
Yeah, no,
So,
I remember they were doing that for a while there, and saying, hey, you know, I'm sorry, you guys can't do this. You know, if we see that you're moving, we're basically gonna convert you from the regular plan that you have to like this mobility plan, and you're just gonna have to pay more money. So,
yeah,
but
and
yeah,
that was
the
all
new ones.
FCC, I think, forcing them to do that.
You could go up to, what is it, like I think what is it, 100 miles per hour or something. So it's kind of crazy.
All right, Johnny Appleseed, life goals: be as fit as JCristina and move to the beach on the Florida side of the Gulf of America. Avoid state taxes. Streaming.
America.
That's great. Elusive truths: Space Force announced Chinese kill mesh and satellite grabbers. To XAI just bought X for $33 billion.
What's that? Space Force announced Chinese kill mesh and satellite grabbers. XI just bought X for $33 billion. I didn't hear any of that. Listen, send over a link. I don't know any. That sounds very
Sus.
sus. Exactly.
That sounds very, very Python.
That sounds very, yes. It sounds very much so like a Tesla phone. So I don't know. I you know what? I have an open mind, and yeah, I'll read anything. Send me
I
over a
did
link.
see
Here,
something, and I can't
4
remember
hours
where
ago?
that X got hit,
Oh.
but I don't know by whom. I didn't have time to look it up. But attack,
Yeah.
DDoS attack. I believe they had a big attack like yesterday or last
Look.
night or something.
Oh, here we go. XAI buys Musk X social media platform for $33 billion. There you go. So that means to me,
March 28th, 4
that's
hours.
that's just now. That's today.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
breaking.
let's take a look at this. Hold on.
Yeah,
Who?
here you go.
Let me take a look at this. This is Forbes. You know what? Screw these people with their stupid
Right
shit
here.
that pops up all the time. It's
Can
really
you move your
annoying.
finger? Just move your big
Let me
fat
see.
finger.
All right, here we go. So it says Elon Musk said Friday his artificial intelligence startup XAI has acquired his social media platform X for $33 billion in an all-stock transaction. So $44 billion is what he bought it for originally, and now it's $33 billion is what he sold it to his company. So he's taken an $11 billion loss, basically a tax write-off. Come on, let's talk about this shit, okay? This guy,
America.
America.
Here.
So it's staying in the family.
Yeah. So let me see what else it says here. It says Musk announced the deal on Friday's post, saying its value of the XAI at $80 billion for XAI, $80 billion, and X for $33 billion, or $45 billion if the social network's $12 billion in debt is included. There you go. Let's see. Musk, who purchased X for $44 billion in 2022, that's what I was talking about, when it was known as Twitter, said that the acquisition entitled the combination of XAI and X's data models, compute, distribution, and talent. Basically, it looks like he's combining all of these brilliant minds from X and XAI into one. So
Good.
and he's taking a massive tax write-off. He's just gonna show the loss between the 33 and the 44. So you're looking at $11 billion loss is what he'll take. But it doesn't really matter when XAI, he's saying, is evaluation sitting at $80 billion. So I think
you're giving the media something to cry about for a couple weeks. He's taking advantage of the tax system.
yeah, well,
You know what? I was talking to someone at work today, and I was like, you know how people always say, if you could talk to yourself when you were 20, like yourself now, give advice when you were 20. Man, I should have became a tax attorney. That's all I have to say.
yeah.
Tax law.
Tax litigation is like a big thing, or I mean, just lawyers in general. They just make stupid money. Just
taxes.
stupid money.
If
I mean,
you
taxes
know
is big.
tax law, you're golden.
Yeah, because everyone's going to be hiring you for sure. But yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So that's a big story. That's something that we're going to have to cover on Monday for sure, because I'll dive into it obviously deeper instead of the superficial that we see on Forbes. A lot of these magazines, a lot of these rags, and I complain about them all the time, are very left-leaning. And even though I lean right, I am someone that reads everything. So I read left and I read right, and then I come up with my own thoughts about it, and then I give you guys my thoughts. So, someone gave me just a hard time, Shannon, just the other day, that I've been very pro Elon, very pro administration stuff. I told him to just go look at my live and the video before my last live, and I called Elon out and I called Trump out with their bullshit that these people were stranded. Do you remember that whole entire thing?
Yeah.
And I gave a full description of why all of the media, all the right-wing media got it wrong. And they just keep on saying the same BS, and it's just simply not true. And then Elon says the same shit, and so is the president and all that. So, I'll call it as I see it, And the reason why that was wrong and how I know is because I reported on it way back when it happened. So I knew exactly when this all went down. It was actually on August 7th, I believe it was, when they said, listen, we're going to return these astronauts on the next flight coming back to us, and they're just going to have to stay up there for 6 months. They said that last year, August. So nothing changed between now and then. They just brought them back on time, maybe 2 weeks late. So were they there too long? Yes, they were. And my point of contention was that it was a Boeing screw up, and Boeing should have stepped up, manned up, and paid up Elon to bring those astronauts back. That's what they should have done. They shouldn't have asked for the administration. They shouldn't have asked for no one. Boeing got them stuck with their piece of crap Starliner that was leaking helium and thrusters were going down like crazy. Well, you know what? If you have 5 thrusters down out of 28 or whatever it is, that means that these people might burn up coming back into our atmosphere. You probably can't use the ship. So you should retrieve your astronauts, but they didn't. So anyways, that was my point. But yeah, you get people that are constantly, they come after me because it seems very much so that I'm very a proponent of Musk, which I am, but I'm still going to call it as I see it based on my knowledge. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I want people to tell me, you know? So anyways.
In that same video, I'm trying to remember back to it. I remember it. But did you happen to mention that Elon offered to bring them back?
Yes.
Earlier last year? Okay, yes.
Yes. And the thing was, yes, and he did. And the administration said no. So yes. And that's why I said it's kind of like it's a 2-coin thing.
And that was political.
He asked, they said no, that was political. But was it something that now that they were stranded and they were being rescued? Once again, absolutely not. So yes, he could have brought him back, but more importantly, Boeing should have brought him back. Boeing should have brought him back.
And I'll tell you what, some big news came out last week about Boeing, and I'm kind of pissed off about it. So, we just went through that whole thing with Boeing and their little capsule thing and everything else. But Boeing was just awarded a multi-billion-dollar contract for the F-47. So they were awarded, they had this total screw up, and then they're, and that's our, that's.
Yeah. Like, how do you give Boeing money when they screwed up as bad as they did?
Yeah. And would I want to jump in one of their planes? No.
Yeah, and they didn't step up.
Thanks,
See, they should have stepped up and said,
traveling
you know what?
all the time.
Yeah, they should have stepped up and said, listen, our bad, we screwed up, we're going to bring back our astronauts. You shouldn't have to ask anybody. That's like, you get people stuck somewhere, you're going to be like, okay, let me go and bring them back. Instead of being, so what they did, people don't know this, what they ended up doing is they ended up making these people that was a pilot and co-pilot, they made them turn into engineers and try to figure out why there was these helium leaks, why there was this thruster problem. That's not their job. So they basically worked for like 2 months trying to figure this out, a month and a half trying to figure this out. Until finally they figured out that they couldn't figure it out and they had to bring the craft back unmanned. So at that point, they should have said, you know what, let's go ahead and launch up another Dragon and bring them back. Pay Elon the 50 mil or whatever it is to bring them back and bring them back. But they didn't because they're cheap. So anyways, it turned into a whole big, it turned into a whole big to-do when it really shouldn't have.
Right.
So, but that's what happens. On both sides of the aisle, they politicize everything. They make it into this big story. And if you just read the facts, I mean, it's always half-truths, right? The devil's in the details, and people don't want to spend the time to find those details. They want people to just hand it to them because they're freaking like lemmings. And it's kind of annoying, but, it is. But anyway,
Very
so
annoying,
I get called out on it all the time. So, it kind of is what it is. Anyways, I digress. Let's get into some questions.
Well, now I don't know where I am. Yeah. I'm gonna pull your plug.
And what happened to our background here? I don't know what's going on.
What's going on? And Life and Death said that while you guys were talking earlier, I totally left a bullshit meter running.
We got the bullshit meter on. I like it. I don't know.
Oh my god. Okay, let's see. Hold on, because you kept going on your rant again about all of that. Ricky Joe said, I seen on YouTube short of someone jump starting a car with only a power tool battery. It was pretty neat. They just used nails to hook the jumper cables to the power tool battery.
Yes. Yep. You can do that. Shannon, you have something that's very similar like that, right? That's someone that you can use like a little, DeWalt or, some other type of Milwaukee battery.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the Mini. You can power it with almost anything. So they make an adapter that you can slide on like a Milwaukee battery or a DeWalt battery. I don't know how long it's going to run on that, to be honest with you. I haven't really gotten into it or anything like that, but literally just slide that on and you've got power to your Mini. It's pretty cool. I sell a lot of those actually.
Isn't that crazy? So, because once again, the Mini's using 25 to 40 watts. It's very, very little amount of watts that the thing is, pulling. So, amps are low, watts are low, and you can power it through USB-C, which is craziness. I mean, really cool, really cool.
Just so you know, Jay Gudmunder, are chickens still laying $20 eggs? No, they are not. Our chickens, actually, a couple months ago, we had another attack, so we're down a couple of chickens, but they're old. They're just not. They're done.
Yeah, they're.
So we just take care of them at this point.
Yeah, they're broody. They just want,
Yeah.
Shannon,
get new ones.
I see gifted memberships here from Shannon.
It's coming in hot.
Shannon, thank you so much. I'm not going to read everybody, but if you got, I like that, Hal 9000. If you got a free membership from Shannon, please say thank you. And Shannon will say,
you're welcome.
That's great. I love it. We're gonna. How much time? We're like at past the mark here.
We're at I don't know. Let me see.
Yeah.
I think we're on about an hour and 40 minutes. So
yeah. So we're gonna be finishing up.
We're gonna be finishing up.
We were
Yeah,
supposed
Fab's
to be
not
finished
feeling
up.
well. We got to get her back to bed.
Back to bed. You know when I was in bed last? I got up at 5 a.m.
Oh God.
Yeah, my eyes are going cross. I'm like, who's asking questions? Let's see.
We're going to get through a bunch of them now. I'm not going to go on and on.
Johnny Appleseed, don't ask how I know this, but Starlink Mini works through a toilet seat. Very scientific research.
Through a toilet seat.
Yes.
All right.
Gala Girl, here we go. Radioactive Texan, the OBS background is X on purpose.
Yeah. That was actually, it just did it. I don't even know. I just flipped it back, so the screen is back to the way it was.
Mo, I see you joining in. Hot.
Mo.
Wow, a while, like 10 minutes ago. Jay Gudmunder. All IRS, all fired, so no income tax, just tariffs.
There you go. We'll take it. No IRS. No.
Johnny Appleseed, I recently tried working with Grok into my pickup lines at the local bar. I got the death blank face from the ladies. Steve, 10% tax across the board and no income tax worked before. Yeah. Robert, Surfer, when is Starlink going to update the sold out section of the map in Washington State? Yeah,
it's probably going to be a good month or so. So hang in there, hang tight. If you're on a waiting list, you can always go with like a mobility type of package and then convert over to a residential after the fact for deprioritized data, basically. So there's things that you can do. Kind of hang tight. It sucks. It took me 9 months to get SpaceX Starlink, so trust me, I feel you.
Okay. Mo said, how's my buddy doing? I told Mo that you were ranting.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You get me going, and then that's what happens.
I know. I tried kicking him tonight, but, I gave him a pass because Shannon's on with us, so, I want to be nice.
Shannon needs a kick over there.
No, I like it. It's good. Johnny Appleseed, I run my Mini on 5AH Milwaukee 18 converter to USB-C. I can run it for about 8 hours.
There you go. 8 hours. Wow, on a Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
That just shows you how little power that those Minis take. It's really cool stuff.
Yes. I mean, I think some of the questions earlier got lost. So if you have any last minute questions, please add JCristina so that I can read them out.
Absolutely.
And Robbie said, yes, it's a shame that political stuff got in the middle of the astronauts coming back home.
Yeah.
It's total unacceptable.
Yeah, it really is.
I do agree with Mo. Mo said Boeing is a long-standing company under the federal government, and SpaceX is a very young company. So. Yeah,
I mean, they've been around forever. And, so while you guys are asking any more questions, let me just tell you something that that I learned that I during my research, as I always do, that a nice little tidbit that I gleaned was so you have the companies like Verizon and AT&T and CenturyLink and which is Lumen, I guess now, Frontier, Comcast, Charter, all the rest of these people, right? They've been getting billions and billions and billions and those are the big capital B, billions and billions subsidies, okay, for decades. And the reason being is to bridge the digital divide. And I have actually showed some receipts on one of my videos. And the thing is even at the very beginning, I said they never bridged the digital divide. They just didn't do it, okay? They didn't. They took the money and they ran with it, okay? The thing was, when Elon Musk started, I said, yeah, he bridged the digital divide. And what I found out was, as of right now, without Elon Musk getting any of the BEAD funding, is what it's called, BEAD, I can get into that in just a second, 85% of rural America now is covered by SpaceX Starlink. Now, of course, there's people that are on the waiting list or whatever, 85%. And supposedly, SpaceX Starlink were going to get $1 billion subsidy, and they decided to pull. It was like $970 million. I talked about this. I did a video on this. They pulled it and gave them nothing. But yet, Elon Musk has now basically bridged the digital divide. And what I said was 85% bridged. How about when the other 15% happens, when there is no more waiting list and there is version 3s up there? Then what will Verizon, Century, AT&T, Charter, Comcast, what are they going to put on the bill? What are they going to charge you for? What's going to be that upcharge? The $3, the $5, the $2.50. What are they going to do? Think about that. So they're pissed about it. They are very, very pissed. And anyways, I'll stop. Go ahead.
Radioactive
She kicked me. Just so you guys know, she kicked me because that was going on.
Yeah. Radioactive Texan, ask Shannon what cam mic he uses. Please, thanks.
There you go, Shannon.
Oh, I can't hear him.
You can't hear Shannon? What happened?
I don't know.
I muted by accident.
There he is.
Okay.
Shannon's back.
So I've got basically just a Dell all-in-one computer. It wasn't something I would have normally bought, but it worked well for my trailer here. It basically the size of a regular monitor and everything's all in one, so I don't got to worry about anything else. I was using a laptop for a long time, and I just couldn't get all the function on the laptop that I needed while I was out and about. So and I actually took a picture, and I'm about to stick it on this show back here, but it's got a built-in camera, and it, you can pop it down and put it away. And right now, I'm running both audio, microphone, and sound is going through the beats. So that's hopefully you're asking because you're truly interested, or you're like, or I sound like crap. I don't know which it is. Either way, I don't care.
Yeah, no, it actually it actually sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Considering that you're actually talking through your ear.
Yes, I am talking through my ear, and I honestly I don't use these very often because when we go on road trips, whatever I want to listen to comes over the radio, and everybody else in the car puts on headsets.
Oh,
so
yeah. See, Fab tells me that I talk through something, but it's just not my ear, is what she says. So.
Uh-oh. Kick him.
When you're just so tired.
Don't kick me. All right, give me a question.
Mo.
What is Mo saying?
And TJ Miracle, how's the bathroom going?
Stop with the damn bathroom.
No, so you guys missed it earlier. The bathroom has tile in the toilet area. Old toilet is gone. New toilet is in. We are moving along.
New lights, a fan.
So we're getting there, you guys. It may actually happen before the 3-year October mark. Could you imagine? Unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable.
Is it a bidet, William? No, it's not.
It's not even a bidet.
That area is not even big enough for that.
Yeah,
okay, so I think that anything else you guys want to talk about?
Yeah. So anyways, I should say, Shannon, do me a favor. So, actually, let me put it back in here Do we have it in there?
Yeah,
guys,
William, at least there's not a hole in the ground that he wanted to put for the bathroom.
just stop.
Oh my God, look at this tonight. It's been a disaster.
Oh my God, I like that. That's really perfect.
This is what I've dealt with tonight.
Yeah, pick it up.
Plus, I'm exhausted. Plus, I'm still sick. And my eyeballs are crossing. And I'm trying to read your guys' questions. And
There you
this is
go.
what's been happening all night to me.
Snap.
Like, what is that?
Snap. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, honestly. They lately it's been an issue.
Holy.
Shannon,
Don't they know we have
Yes.
Shannon on? We
What do
can't
you
have
think,
these
Shannon?
problems.
what is the story, Shannon? Why is YouTube just so shites? I don't get
It's
it.
because we're trash talking.
I
them.
guess
think
you
it's
know
a
what-
mixture of greed and the want of total control.
I like that
Yeah.
greed and total
Yeah, but
control.
that's like everything. Greed, total control, and egos. My God.
Kind of true.
Yeah,
Oh
too
my
many
God.
people there for it to be one collective ego, but yeah.
Yeah, no, but there's always those top tier ones that run the
Yeah.
show.
I just run
Top
everything.
tier egos.
Yes.
Yes. We got a studio tour from Tim. Yes, I still need to do that. It's a shit show in
It's
here right
always
now.
a shit
It's a
show.
mess.
Tim,
Um,
it's always a shit show.
I think they got too big for their britches, meaning it started off as that, that small platform was a great idea. Then what, Google bought them, right?
Yep.
And then it started to get popular. So I think they started patching. So they would stick, we need to add this feature. And whoever was doing all these patches or modifications, you just have all this crap that's stacked up on top of each other with a 20-year difference in technology between them all. Not being a programmer myself, that's just kind of the way I see it. Is obviously you want to get everything right the first time. If you were a programmer, say, okay, I want this. You do it all from the get-go. But
Yeah.
I think they just grew exponentially, and I think that it got too buggy as they were trying to add features or prevent things, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Well, you know who's like that though? It's Amazon.
Oh my God, what a piece
Amazon
of crap
started
is that?
off
Oh my-
like literally like paper accounting, and it just grew into computer, and then the computer program
No, it's
couldn't keep up
robotics,
with the computer programs,
AI.
and they just kept patching things, and their accounting is horrible, and everything is a mess, and yeah.
Yeah, Amazon is the hot ass mess. I mean, I've been selling on Amazon for over 10, 15 years now. And even us as people that sell on there, because I've invented a lot of my own products and I sell them on Amazon, it is a complete and utter shit show. And that is just it. And that's why a lot of times I talk as I do about different companies, because I'm not just like coming up with this just out of the blue. It's like literally experience, like decades of experience with these different companies. Like when I talk about AT&T, I worked in a NOC, right? With, like on my server, like next to Bell Atlantic server. I used to get all of the nitty gritty of what was going on all the time. So when I say things, it's not, I just don't make this stuff up, like it's factual, but anyways, yeah. What you were saying, just to kind of add to what you said, Shannon, is I feel that YouTube is very similar to what Windows does. Windows started out very, very small, right? And then they ended up getting more and more programmers that were coding. And what they found was they were making so many different programmers making all of these different patches and all of these different apps and all of these different programs. And then they would have a small group. So let's say they had 1,000 programmers, and then they have like 10 people. Let's just call it making believe, but 10 people that had to shoestring, scotch tape, super glue all this shit together, right? And hope that this guy's shit didn't break this guy's and this guy's didn't break that guy. And that's what happened all the time. Every time you get an update, the thing's broken. Blue screen of death is what used to be the thing we used to joke about. It's the same kind of
And there's
thing.
more than one way to tell the screen to turn blue. So you might have this guy that got his training self-trained out of a book or YouTube or whatever. Then you got another guy who went to university, for computer programming or whatever.
Yeah.
Two totally different styles altogether.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's more than one way to tell a screen turn blue. and one guy's using one way and one guy's using the other way, and maybe they're not happy.
Yeah, no, and that's it. And then you end up with the blue screen of death.
Oh yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
what Mo just said, and the same thing with the Mac OS, the Rainbow of Death, if you remembered that.
Yeah, Mac OS is notorious for it too. It's not just one operating system or another. So, absolutely. Well, guys, Shannon, I have to say thank you for being on.
Yes, Shannon, it's awesome to finally meet you. I'm sure everybody
They're like, who's
like
this guy
now,
Shannon?
like now you know who Shannon is.
Now you know who Shannon is. And full disclosure, this is my point of sale system here. It is the only iOS device that I own.
Wow.
Because Shopify, that's the only option they had at that time was iOS.
So you got what is it, an iPad or something?
Yeah, it's an iPad.
That's ruggedized or ruggerized, like I see there's like a lip around it or something.
It's in a little thing so that you can spin it around.
Almost like
a customer or whatever.
Sweet.
Yeah. But I'm not real happy with it. So
there you go. You're gonna have to move it to Android or something.
Yeah. Oh yes, it was great having a two-way conversation for a change.
Yeah.
Now I understand Fabiola, because it's difficult to have a conversation and monitor the chat at the same time.
Yeah.
So I missed a lot tonight. I know I did.
Yeah.
I didn't even verbally get to say hi to Mo.
Yeah.
Hi, Mo. But I see, and then Peter, and then it was. It's like, there's a lot of people I want to say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
And, it's difficult to do two things at once. So.
And when you have this system crashing like it does, so if it doesn't crash, what happens is when you scroll to the little arrow on the bottom, sometimes it just scrolls all the way, and then you have to backtrack so far because you haven't even gotten to that part of the conversation and the questions where you left off. So it takes a minute to find your spot again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There has to be a better way.
Hopefully. I don't know.
Yeah, Dave, did we get enough likes tonight?
I don't know where our likes are
I
at.
hope so. I don't know. Let me see.
yeah.
What do we have for likes?
If you're in this chat room and you have not liked the video,
115.
please like it now, because I know there's 101 of you in there right now according to that little thing.
Yeah.
Come on, for me, for Joe, for Fab, hit that like button. This is all about the channel growth. That's why this is why I do what I do. I give gift memberships, super chat, stuff like that, because this is I truly enjoy watching Joe every week and Fab on some Fridays. And I get value out of what Joe puts up there. So I am able to give back and support the channel. Not everybody can. He gets that,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, so that's why I do what I do. I'm not here, trying to sell my product or anything else like that. So, however, no, I'm kidding.
Do it.
I am truly just here to support Joe and support Fab and support the channel. So my library of knowledge can keep going, because I learned from him, and I am a Starlink junkie. I'm a tech junkie. And so that's why, guys. That's why I do it.
We appreciate you so much, and a lot of times it's very hard to articulate, and express it how much it does help, and it really does help a lot. The channel build and grow, and
honestly, man, there's so many people now that again, we know by name, all of us, each other, because we're here on a constant basis all the time. It's very cool. So it's very cool to finally meet you in person and see you and connect a face to the name,
So maybe we should all of us, 100, 150 of us.
Yes, the OG regulars.
Go to Vegas, right, with you, and then we'll go and play some slots or something.
I hate losing money, though.
Hey, we got a 20. Call it out, Fab. Call it out.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, TJ.
TJ Miracle.
Yes.
Thank you
Hold on.
very much
Thank
for
you
that.
very much. Let me call this out. Hold on. Let me see now. This thing is getting.
Yeah, you could use this one right
janky.
up here on the screen.
Old Man Willie, Volunteer Man 5150, Santiago Guardia, Colonoscopy, Trooper 5707, Tom McNeely, Arnold, Smith, Cohen Lewis, Daniel Bettinger, Base Change, Unknown Known,
Something like
Reaper
that.
Ghost 187, Isaac Schneider, Eric Now, Zachary H. Parsley, Michael Johnson, Gaming's PS5, and
Two more, John Y. and
Brinkley
Robert.
and Robert.
Body Man Bob.
No, and Reader John
Oh,
and
there you
Phil
go.
Durgan.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Really
Oh,
appreciate
you know what I wanted to
that.
ask you, Shannon, real quick? Have you heard of a kid on Instagram, Rev for Trev?
I don't even know how to use Instagram.
Okay, so no, well, maybe in your community. I think he did Baja racing. He also did but dirt biking. He was hit by a car. I think he's like 16, 17. I want to say out in maybe the Montana area, out that way. I don't know. I was just curious, and maybe you knew him.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was in the
no.
community
Okay.
or something.
It's
Once
a
ag-
massive community.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I came across that on Instagram, and they were raising money for him. He was really bad, but he's doing really well now. So, it's not 100% recoup, but it's a miracle.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Once again,
we've
thank you.
lost
I just want to say real quick, once again,
Sorry.
thank you to TJ Miracle and also Speed Racer for the super chat. Really do appreciate that, Speed Racer. Thank you so much for that. What were you saying, Shannon?
People die in that sport.
Yes.
I've seen people die in that sport, and it's very tragic. Spectators getting ran over because they're standing where they shouldn't be standing.
Yeah.
And we had a guy a while back. I'm not going to say his name, but he hit a cow.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
man.
So cruising down a wash down there in Baja, and suddenly a cow ended up in front of him, hit the cow, and he passed
Yeah.
away, unfortunately.
horrible.
Right on impact, I'm sure, because there's no
Yeah.
airbags, there's nothing. You're just taking the
No.
brunt. You're
Yeah.
taking the brunt of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, horrible. Absolutely
It
horrible.
is horrible, but that's what those people are taking that risk.
Yeah.
Fully knowing what they're up against when they go in. So it's just for love of the sport.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thank you guys.
Yes.
Thank you, Shannon.
Yes. Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
It was fun.
And all those pictures that you have to
Yes.
send us those pictures because obviously they're small on the screen. I want to see them in detail. They're funny.
All right.
I can see like a little bit, but it's literally the size of a thumbnail on my screen.
Yeah, and I didn't know how that was going to turn out. But
I think they're
I'll
awesome.
send you. I'll send it, or maybe I'll just send you a link to my Flickr.
Yeah, that would be really cool. And then I'll
Yeah.
download them, and then maybe on the next live, I'll actually put them up so everyone can see them. Be like, look, this
Okay.
is Shannon's artwork, guys. This is his artwork.
Well, like the SpaceX stuff, I stole, so hopefully your video doesn't get demonetized. I don't know. No.
Yeah.
But it's audio and video. That's the
Yeah,
problem, right?
audio is really crazy. I mean, I've been fighting for the 5-hour, live that I did. I've been fighting these people for over a month since the last Starship. They want to demonetize the entire 5 hours that I did
Yes,
for that.
yes.
Because of like some stupid ass song, some like, literally like 5-10-year-old elevator music riff of some kind. So that's
Right.
the problem also. It's, you have to be very careful. And a lot of times if SpaceX is playing some background music, I got to be like, holy shit, and like hit the mute button on them, no matter if they're talking or not. If not, it'll just immediately demonetize the entire thing, just like if I'm not even doing anything. So yeah, it's not an easy thing, just like you said, and you see it now, being on the other side and having to get the audio right and playing with your lighting, and we were talking about that and all the rest of the stuff. It's not easy.
Can you
Not
type
easy.
in Shannon's website again on the chat?
Yes, Shannon's website. Let me go ahead and stick that in there. Hold on, guys. There you go. There's Shannon's website. Go check it out. Baja everything. Also Starlink stuff. He's got a lot of good stuff in there. Go check that out,
I
guys.
got a lot of Starlink, especially Starlink mini accessories on there.
Ooh,
There you go. So Baja Racing Gear. Baja Racing Gear. Go and check that out for sure. But anyways, thank you so much, Shan. Really appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank you
Thanks.
everyone for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. It was cool having three of us on here instead of just me just chitter chattering. I thought that Fabiola wasn't going to be able to make it because she was sick. So, and she pulled through. I can't even imagine. It was like that's a lot. So I'm sure you're going to be gone.
Well,
God,
thank you for
100%.
mustering up that energy. I was looking forward to seeing you, Fab. So
Thanks.
he told me you weren't feeling well. So
I know. He told me yesterday. I'm like, oh no, I have to be there. I have to see Mr. Shannon. Are you kidding? That's awesome. I love it. We have to do it again.
So what I'm going to do is I'm
absolutely.
going to say goodbye, but I'm going to
Real quick, Fragile, thank you for the super chat. Good night to you
Thank you,
all.
Fragile.
Tonight was
Appreciate
fun.
you. Thank you for the super chats, everyone. Thank you for the gifted memberships, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate it. It helps out the channel greatly. Trust me, it does. So I'm going to stop the feed, but I'm going to keep the actual stream going. So you guys can type in there for another 10 minutes or whatever before I shut it down. So anyways, we're going to be out, and hopefully everyone has a
great
blessed weekend.
Yep. Have a great weekend.
And thank you, Shannon, for everything.
Yes.
Bye, everybody. It was a pleasure.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Don't comment, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs downs are great
confessions,
too.
Everything. We take it all. And if you
Pink poo-poos.
yeah,
Pink poop,
All the
absolutely.
things.
Pink.
if you need refills on your teas or any of that stuff, you can head over to Joe's site. I will put it in the chat as well.
Yep, JCristina.com. Check it out. So, yeah, guys, we will see you next week. And most likely, you know what the first video is going to be about? The buyout. 33 billion.
Oh,
33
Lord.
billion. That's a big thing. That's a big thing. Once again, I'll dig in deeper as I always do.
Yes.
So, guys, once again, hang in there in the chat room, and we're going to shut it down. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Love y'all. Take care.
Good night, everybody.